2025 playbook. President Trump also signed executive orders that would eliminate good-paying jobs in clean energy and open the floodgates for big oil companies. Where do you find that?
2025.
25 playbook. And even though President Trump said he wanted to leave reproductive care to the states, his actions tell us he was not telling us the truth. He pushed policies barring doctors from sharing information with patients about health care, including abortion, and is pushing anti-choice beliefs into the doctor-patient relationship here in the U.S. and across the globe. So when Donald Trump threatens things that to roll back cost savings for prescription drugs or threatens jobs, he's making life easier for the big corporations and more expensive for average people. And where do these ideas come from? These and many, many more come from the 900 or so pages of
Project 2025. Trump is unleashing it one after another, claiming he doesn't know about it, but yet he knows all about it, and it's all happening.
2025 is the Trump agenda.
See?
And unfortunately, it seems very likely we're going to see more of these awful proposals in the weeks to come.
Yep.
From Project 2025 right into the Trump administration. On FEMA. Yesterday, President Trump traveled to North Carolina and California to tour sites ravaged by both hurricanes and wildfires. While speaking to reporters, the president mentioned the role of FEMA,
right,
saying he plans to issue an executive order that could possibly eliminate FEMA altogether.
Right.
In his words, quote, I think we're going to recommend that FEMA go away. Look, if we want to talk about common sense reforms to disaster response, that's one thing. But getting rid of FEMA entirely because of the conservative hunger to shrink government at all costs is dangerous, very dangerous. That could leave families, business owners, and local communities fending for themselves.
Yep.
President Trump's proposal to get rid of FEMA has Project 2025 written all over it.
Yep.
Project 2025 wants to privatize some of FEMA's programs,
yep,
including national flood insurance that vulnerable communities rely on desperately. Project 2025 calls for the shrinking of the federal government's share of disaster aid,
yep,
making the states and local taxpayers pay a far larger share. That's antithetical to how Americans stuck together.
They warned you. You were warned.
Why do we have a national
You
FEMA?
were warned.
Americans pulled together, not divided one another.
He pulled the sheets over your heads. He knew all about 2025. That was the agenda. That's what they're doing. And eat that cake, bitches, because that's what you get for voting for him again. That's what you get. Eat cake.
Now Donald Trump and his toying with getting rid of FEMA undoes that beautiful part of America.
Yep.
It said we all stuck with one another when one area had such a disaster that they couldn't deal with it all themselves.
Yep.
History is clear that when it comes to disaster response, there are some things only the federal government's equipped to do. And President Trump would be mistaken to ignore that. When states get overwhelmed, when their highways are buckling, when they don't have trucks and ambulances because of flooding or fires or whatever, earthquakes, to get to the people in need, FEMA comes right in. It's happened in my state. It's happened in your state. It's happened in everybody's state.
Yep.
Get rid of FEMA because a group of hard right people want to see that the wealthy in America pay less taxes.
Yep.
I love Project 2025.
Yep.
Un-American to me, and against a grand tradition that we've had for over a century.
Yep.
Eliminating FEMA, the tradition of each area of the country helping one another. Eliminating FEMA without thinking of the consequences will only mean more pain and more confusion from communities at their worst times, times of crisis. The president should back away from this threat. I yield the floor and note the absence of quorum.
Yep.
Roll.